Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA. It's a little after 9 a.m. and I just finished my grocery shopping here at the huge H-E-B store here in Marble Falls, Texas. And I thought, well, I really don't have anything to talk about. Let's just take a drive. How about that? You get to see the new grocery store right there. It's fairly new. It's been open for about 2 or 3 months now, or maybe, 3 or 4 months. Huge parking lot, busy place. Hi. Thanks. Marble Falls, Texas, USA, June the 19th, 2018. That's today. See, that's kind of a little poem. Did you all catch that? They have a thing here called curbside, which means you can order your groceries over the internet and then come pick them up, or over the phone, I guess. And they go in and pick your items, whatever they might be, and that's the way that works. This is a school, an elementary school, right across the street from the grocery store, and I was wondering how that was going to work out. There's a car coming that way, Rusty, get going. And because when the school is in session, which it's not right now because it's summertime, and in Texas and in most states in the United States, from June, July, and August, schools are out. Why are schools out in the summer? Because years ago, whenever this was a rural, agrarian, agricultural country, children were out in the summers because they worked on the farms, okay? And they haven't changed the rules. It's still that way today. A lot of recreational areas in the USA totally rely on the fact that schools are out in the summers because parents will take their kids on trips, and that's the way that goes. So we went from the agrarian society to the vacation society, and that kept the school calendar the same. But anyway, we're at the intersection here of Highway 1431 and something, I don't know the name of this street I'm on. Gasoline is $2.64 a gallon, I think, over at Walmart, Murphy's. It's $2.79 here, which is about a mile away. Why is that? It's always that way. So that's the way that is. So here we go. I got my phone, I guess I got it set up pretty good, guys. It's hard to see from this side. But anyway, it's a nice day, and yeah, things are going okay. Feel good, glad to be back home in a lot of ways. The temperature right now is 77 degrees at 9:15 a.m., which is very unusual in Central Texas for this time of the year. That is low. Maybe I brought some cold weather or cool weather back with me from New Mexico. But it is nice. We got some clouds. We had a little disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, which moved inland. And so we may get a little rain today. I'm not sure. I know this is an exciting video, another one of my viral videos. But some of y'all like the driving videos, and I do too. So away we go with my image stabilization feature on my $76 phone. And I am quite pleased with it. It works good so far. Before I left Capitan, New Mexico, I got my oil and filter changed on my Ram 2017 pickup, and that's good because it cost me $16.02. If you provide the oil and filter, they charge you $16.02 labor. You cannot beat that anywhere. No kidding. Yeah, and I watched the guy do it. I saw him pouring the oil in. Yeah, great. Highway 1431 heads towards Kingsland, Texas from Marble Falls. It's about 10 miles, approximately, maybe 12. And then we turn right before we get to Kingsland, Texas, and go on Farm Road, or whatever they call it, 2242, I think. I never can remember the name of it. I've been on it for 20 years and I can't remember the number of it. But yeah, I've got getting a couple of bids on doing some concrete work at my home base. I'm going to add underneath the 18 by 26 aluminum cover. I'm going to have that all concrete, and then I'm going to add a 10-foot by 10-foot concrete patio as a part of that. And we'll see. Should be able to afford it, I hope. And this is good weather for them to do it because it's cool and a little humid. You don't want to pour concrete when it's really dry, because you should keep it wet and it cures better. It won't get those curing cracks sometimes. But I got one bid in, I guess it was November last year, from one group, so I kind of have an idea of about what it's going to cost. And I know y'all are probably going to ask about 10 times what it's going to cost, and I'm not sure yet. But what I've done, and it won't be, even the price they give me is not going to be legitimate in the sense that it's all just for the concrete and labor, because we're trading out on several items. I have a wash machine that I'm going to let them have. And some of the lumber on the patio is still good, so we'll work a deal on that. And then there's these concrete footings that are under the deck to hold up the 4x4 boards. I've got about 16 of those, and they cost about, I don't know, $5 a piece, and we'll work a little deal on that. So, and they're going to haul it off, all the old wood deck, and so I got an old chair and some other junk they're going to haul off. So yeah, I'm going to clean it up really nice, and what I'm doing is I'm just preparing for, down the road, because I don't want any steps, and I certainly don't want a situation where I'll slip and fall. So I'm going to have them. They do what they call a broom on the concrete, and it makes it where it's almost non-slip. You can get a light broom or a heavy broom, but if you get a heavy broom, it's a little too rough. But if you have a patio or a deck poured or anything, just tell them to do a light broom, and that gives you enough roughage, so to speak, to make it almost non-slip. It helps a lot. But I won't have any steps except coming out of the RV, and I'm going to fix those up. I'll use some cinder blocks to make me some nice steps as for stepping out of the RV, which can be moved out of the way when I'm traveling around in the RV, going in and out of the deal. And it'll make it much easier, much easier to back the RV in under the cover without having that deck. You'll just have all patio, all the same level. It'll all be level. And so when you back the RV in, it's level, except front to back, and you just do the front jack for that. That's the end of that. So anyway, this is Granite Shoals, Texas, and a small community on Lake LBJ, or to the left about 1.5 miles is the lake. There's a sign there, you'll see it says Corix, C-O-R-I-X Utilities. They own the water system here in Granite Shoals, and they also own them in several other small communities in the United States. Corix is a Canadian company that is owned by the Chinese, and the reason the Chinese don't invest directly in these small water facilities is because they can't. So what they do, they form corporations like in Canada that can, and then the Corix, which is Canadian, buys up these small utilities, and they come in, and what they do, buy them up, promise that they're not going to raise the rates, they'll keep them the same, and then within a year or two they've doubled the rates. And what are you going to do? You want water? You want sewage? You want trash? Yeah, you don't have any choice. So it's kind of holding a gun to your head, but we've let it go. I mean, our country, we've kind of lean back and look the other way because it's business. Gasoline in Granite Shoals is $2.69 a gallon for regular unleaded. And this video is so exciting. I'm getting chills. It's just I don't know. It's just so full of useless information. Speaking of which, It occurred to me as I was driving into the post office this morning, which I didn't get any mail, which I want to remind you, if you want to contact me through the mail, it's Rusty, and you can put Rusty S if you want to, or just Rusty is okay. It worked before. It's P.O. Box 1446, Kingsland, Texas, one word, Kingsland, Texas, 78639. And yeah, for those of you that want to contact me that way and ask me a question or make a statement, we'll do so. And if I do respond to it, during mail call, and you don't want me to mention your name, then say so in your letter or on your card, and I won't. Okay? So if you have something private to ask and you don't want me to read it at mail call, just say so and I won't. No problemo. So here we go, guys. It is nice. I mean, and right now it's showing 80 degrees. The little temperature gauge on the truck pickup, which is unbelievable in Texas for this time of the year. So maybe I really got lucky. How lucky, I hear you. But they did have some really hot weather the end of May and the first week of June. I mean, they were in the 103, 105 area, and that's rare for that time of the year. But now, thanks to this cloud cover and a little humidity, even though the humidity is not that high, it may be high today, but it has been in the 20s and low 30s, or it's been in the 20s most of the time. And 20% humidity is, for me, very comfortable. When it gets down to 5% like it does in New Mexico, yeah, that's nice, but that's pretty dry, guys. You got to kind of keep the cream on your skin and stuff, because you'll turn into leather. You turn into leather. But this is Highway 1431. Both sides of the highway, everything's green. We've had enough rain and moisture to bring the little plants along. And one other thing too about having all this vegetation in this area of Central Texas, like we do when we have rain like this, or moisture, the air is highly oxygenated. The plants are doing their things and the trees are doing their thing. They take in carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide and put out oxygen. That's interesting. I always thought that was, what a balance. But I got me some more farm fresh eggs. I may have mentioned that in a video. My neighbor lives on that 300-acre ranch, and they have some chickens. They get more fresh eggs than they eat. So she gave me a dozen farm fresh eggs, which is very nice. And she said, anytime you need any, just let me know, because we end up throwing them away sometimes. And I said, well, your problem is solved, ma'am. Old Rusty will take them, because I guarantee you, farm fresh eggs, I know a lot of people are going to debate this with me, and that's fine, I'm up to it, is, they do contain, most eggs have cholesterol. Now, to what degree, I can't tell you. But I do know a number of people that are very elderly, and I'm talking about 80s and 90s, that eat eggs almost every day. In fact, my uncle, who died at the ripe old age of 96, he starved himself to death. Actually, he committed suicide. Basically, he just stopped. He said, look, I don't want to be here anymore. So he stopped eating. He did it. He starved himself flat to death. So be that as it may, he was hard-headed. I wonder where he got that. But he did. Every day he would have eggs, either eggs and sausage or eggs and something, every single day. He never did smoke that I know of, though. And if he did drink, I'm not sure. I don't think he may have drank a little. I don't know. I don't remember that much about him. But he was a healthy old dog. I mean, up until he decided to check out, he was a rounder. I mean, he still drove his car and went to his little place to get breakfast. And I know y'all really care about that. I'm just talking, guys. Just rambling on here. I think I told this story too. I had an uncle named Uncle Tom. Everybody ought to have an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom he was old. He was in his 60s when I was a kid in high school, or he may have been in his 70s for all I know. He was an old man, as far as I know. But he drank his beer every day. I mean, he drank beer, and he was skinny as a rail, about 6 foot tall, skinny as a rail, and hung out down at the Friendly Bar, played dominoes, and drank beer. And where he got his money, I have no clue. Like maybe he was on Social Security or something. I have no clue. But anyway, he did okay. Had him old junk car, and I'd see him every now and then. He was real friendly, and every time I saw him, he'd talk to me for a while and tell me stories and stuff, which I always found interesting. But one night, there was a place called Walford Crossing Bridge, which is about 6 or 8 miles out of Kennedy, Texas, where I grew up. And it was on the it was a bridge across the San Antonio River, and it was in the middle of nowhere. And so we would go out there in the evenings or late at night and sit out there, and you could get a quart of beer for 50 cents. So we'd have somebody that we knew old enough to get us a quart of beer apiece, and then we'd haul it out to go out to Walford's Crossing Bridge and sit there and drink that quart of beer. God, it would take hours because we drank so slow, and that was a lot for us because we were probably 15, 16 years old in that range. And but one night we were out there, and I saw a car parked where the quote parkers used to park. If you wanted to go parking with your girlfriend, that was a good spot. There were several good spots on the other side of the bridge, off in the brush and the trees, that you could back into, and you couldn't be seen from the road if somebody drove by unless they drove in that little trail where you were, and there were a few of those little trails there. Well, anyway, I just happened to see a kind of the reflection of a headlight. It wasn't on, but we were shining flashlights around, and sure enough, there was a car backed in there. And a little while later, we didn't bother anybody, because that was kind of an unwritten rule. You just didn't bother people that were parking. That was the code of the West. But anyway, Tom was there, old Uncle Tom, and he came walking around there, and he saw me, and he said, "Hey, Rusty, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine, Uncle Tom. How are you doing?" He said, "Man," he said, I'm all right. He said, got my girlfriend over here, we're having a beer, and she was in the car. Maybe she had to pee or something, and so he walked away to let her do it. But he came up there and we talked for a while, and he was a real nice guy. I mean, he was just friendly and soft-spoken, and he never really tried to tell you what to do or how to do it. He'd just make suggestions. He'd say, "Well, if it were me, I might do this or that," and that's why I liked him. And my daddy did the same thing too. But anyway, so we were talking, and I said, "Uncle Tom," I said, for anything you could pass along, or any info that would help somebody, what would you tell them?" And he thought for a minute, and he said, "I'll tell you what I'd do." He said, if I had it all to do over again, he said, I'd make more mistakes. I always remember that, and I know I've probably said it 10 times in videos, but it's true. If you don't take some chances in life, you're gonna be bored to death. You kind of gotta get out of your safety zone every now and then and check stuff out. And I'm not saying jump off a mountain without a parachute, but you gotta have a little adventure in your soul. It adds a little flavor, and basically, people should do what they want to do, and they do. But for me, that piece of advice stuck in my mind, and whenever I got in a situation where I felt a little uncomfortable about going forward with the risk or whatever I was into, I usually went forward, because I'd say, hell, if it ends up being a mistake, it just is, and sometimes it was, and sometimes it wasn't. I'm probably batting about 500 on that. But we're getting a little mist out of these clouds finally, and that's good because all these little plants around here are just stretching their arms and reaching out for every drop. If you go to the right here, you go to Inks Lake, or scratch that, Longhorn Cavern State Park. And if you go to the left, see the way I do it, I go up here to this other stop sign so I can see both ways. See, I got to look up the hill, and then I can see to the left real clearly, and that way I don't have to worry about somebody running over me. It's called being double safe as you get older, because you just don't see as good as you did when you were 30 or 20. Yeah, this is nice. Well, anyway, guys, we're getting a little moisture on the windshield. I'm going to end the video. But anyway, guys, from Central Texas, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything your little heart desires, anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of my videos. I appreciate it. For those of you that have, I appreciate that. I get a small commission. It won't cost you a dime. Same price whether you use the link or not. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in deep, hold it for a few seconds, breathe out slowly. That relieves stress, lowers your blood pressure. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day ain't gonna hurt you. It's good for you actually. And what else? Stretch, walk. I've already done my stretches and walking today. I walked for about an hour, which is good. And yeah, it's okay. It was cool this morning. Why not enjoy it? And what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind, because what you let in are ingredients, and might as well let in good ingredients. You'll feel a whole lot better because of it. You'll sleep better. Let me make this turn and I'll punch off button. Bump, bump. But anyway, guys, enjoy your life best you can, one day at a time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.